Hey guys, welcome back to Must See Films. My name's Darren, and let's talk about Toy Story 4. If you grew up like I did, then these are probably a huge part of your childhood. A sequel then brings with it a lot of anxiety-provoking baggage, especially after the heart-wrenching and satisfying conclusion of Toy Story 3. But like all great films, the entertainment of the surface level is the cherry on top of a much more revealing and thematically rich narrative. And what's fascinating to me is how every element of Toy Story 4 is an external manifestation of what's happening internally for Woody. By expressing his inner world and the outer elements of the story, it allows you, the audience, to have the experience alongside Woody, creating a deeper sense of empathy as you feel what he feels. So today let's take a look at how Pixar wraps the narrative around Woody's internal struggle in this incredibly well-crafted character study.
He'll be lost forever.
Lost toy. Be lost.
Are you two lost?
Do you think he's lost?
Lost toy?
Lose him? Lost toy. Lost.
She's lost.
Lost toy?
The entire film exists in order to take Woody from this fear to a place of acceptance. From that die-hard loyalty he's known for to a new identity of independence, helping him evolve into a much more mature and complex character. Let's start with how the hero's flaw triggers the antagonist force of the film. When we first meet Woody, he's clinging to his old ways and desperately tries to recreate his position for a sense of purpose with Bonnie. But
Bonnie's not Andy.
the whole opening feels like a square peg in a round hole. It's nostalgic, but it's different. Woody's the same, but he's not. We really feel his frustration of being out of place. Which brings us to Forky. In kindergarten, Bonnie makes Forky. But no, Woody makes Forky. Narratively, it's his behavior that results in Forky's creation through Woody doing what he's always done. But no matter how well-intentioned, Woody has yet to learn that his world isn't the same as it once was, and a change is needed. Making Forky the personification of Woody's inability to let go. He's the external representation of Woody's resistance to change. Narratively, he exists to punish Woody for clinging to this belief, and it's no surprise that he has to single-handedly keep this lie alive. He even gets what he thinks he's been searching for, mirroring the imagery of the early Andy days and further justifying what Woody thinks is right, but is ultimately a false victory in disguise. As they walk together, it's like he's rationalizing his own behavior and convincing himself of why he has to be this way. But it's at this point that Woody shows us what he really cares about. And on one hand, Woody's perceived solution of saving Bonnie is right there, and he needed Forky and he's right there, and he needed to reach the caravan park and it's right there. But wrestling inside him is this inner conflict of being there for his child his old way, and this whisper he feels of yearning to move on, to save his soul, to find something new. Which brings us to Beau Peep. Beau represents the journey that Woody must go on. And maybe 9 years ago he wasn't ready to walk away, but she embodies where he will reach by the end of the film and helps serve as an example to teach Woody. Now in classic Woody fashion, his first action of the film is to prevent another toy from being
He'll be lost forever.
which is one of his deepest fears.
I'm lost. Oh, the lost toy.
And with this gesture, he shows us that he's not ready to make that choice yet. But Beau, she accepts the change with grace and bravery. Which is why it's her duty to mentor Woody through this journey, teaching him that his old strategies don't work anymore and just get him in more and more trouble. So when Beau is giving advice to Duke, it's no mistake that Woody's there to witness. The lesson is really for him.
Be the Duke you are right now.
Be who I am. Right now.
It's hard to move on past what you know, and when a time in its life has served its purpose, you need to let it go. But Woody's rigid beliefs start to crumble as Beau shows him what else is possible, giving multiple generations of audiences the rare experience of watching a character evolve beyond their original character design. In the first three, Woody's loyalty means that he always had to get back to Andy. And how incredibly brave, mature, and human of Pixar to let their head of franchise figure evolve beyond the confines of what he's known for. For me, it felt fresh and exciting to see a character we all know and love redefining himself and being so lost. But what if Woody didn't grow? What if he didn't move on and evolve like Beau? What if we take this fear of being lost, broken, without a child to the end of the line?
Wow, you need to fix that.
Gabby is the opposite of Beau. She represents where Woody could end up if he stays where he is emotionally. Now, she's technically the villain for a while, but note the similarities between her and Woody. Both made in the 50s, both with a voice box, which we'll get to in a second, and like Woody, Gabby clings to the fantasy of that one perfect child to bring her love and meaning. And what's the setting for this face-off? Second Chance Antiques. A symbol of Woody's fear of abandonment, forgotten toys, and unfulfilled lives. It's beautifully thematic storytelling that in order to transform his resistance from the clutches of his deepest fear, Woody must rescue Forky from the depth of his deep unconscious, the belly of the whale, the second-hand store, with the help of the light which will ultimately set him free. Well done, Pixar. Woody's choice will lead him in one of two directions: the downward spiral to Gabby, or the transcendence to that of Beau. Let's talk about my favorite character in the film. Let's talk about Duke. Let's talk about Duke.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk that.
Duke, we need
Hold
to.
on, one more. Oh, yeah.
Okay. With this subplot echoing that of Woody's pain, Duke's inability to let go of Rajon is holding him back, mirroring the barrier that Woody feels with Andy. But a more important detail is that Duke is tossed aside because he doesn't work properly. A similar trait shared by Gabby, and a fear rooted in Woody since Toy Story 2.
Oh, I forgot. You're broken.
But being broken and learning to fix yourself, externally and internally, is a necessary threshold that a toy must pass as he moves towards independence. And it's why Beau laughs in the face of injury. And it's why Woody's sacrificing his voice box is a major act of commitment as he learns to let go, realizing that a part of him had to die in order for a new version to be born. But as depressing as that moment was, it's actually the beginning of a new path. Woody is able to show empathy towards Gabby, which comes full circle when Gabby finds happiness, giving Woody the permission to take that risk on himself. And without his voice box telling him who he is, he must think for himself for the first time, listening to that inner whisper that has longed for a new future, joining Beau in another emotional Toy Story triumph. But unlike Buzz, who is just beginning to listen to his inner voice, he has a long way to go before he evolves like Woody. Which is why the classic phrase is shared as the last line of the film to mark their emotional endpoints. Buzz goes,
To infinity
and Woody goes,
and beyond.
For me, Toy Story 4 manages to reach new heights. Technically, emotionally, yes, but most of all I was impressed with the bravery of Pixar to risk the growth and change of such a well-known character. And I think one of the reasons the film succeeds is because every element of the story is wrapped around Woody's journey, putting the audience in the heart of Woody's internal, and going on that journey with him as he grows out of his mindset he's been trapped in, and ultimately unplugging himself from the one-child matrix. And freeing his soul to new possibility. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video on another Pixar masterpiece. Let me know in the comments below if you had a similar experience with Toy Story 4. And if you love talking about great movies and digging into what makes them work, then be sure to subscribe. You can also support this channel on Patreon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we talk about one of my favorite screenwriters of all time.